ackee is complete. Here it is. I had this one on the fridge because of course. So this is what the ackee looks like after it has been cooked and it has been cooled. Notice the pieces are not too small. It's not broken up. Some persons like when their ackee is broken up into small pieces. Honestly, I can't eat this because I'm allergic to it. But there's nothing more annoying than looking at a plate of ackee and saltfish and it looks like plaka plaka. If you don't know what plaka plaka is, I guess a better description is that it looks like porridge, too soft, right? All right, so when you're serving ackee, of course, the key thing is you can serve it with fried dumpling, you can serve it with, boom, yellow heart breadfruit. This breadfruit here has been roasted. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and fry these. And of course, you know, ackee goes with saltfish. So the saltfish, of course, would have been boiled, or some persons would say scalded. Scalded is a word? I guess if you have scald, the past tense of scald is probably either scald or scalded, whichever one. This is not a grammar class right now. So yes, so the saltfish is done and it is nicely picked. You know, not too fine either. It's not baby food. You want to have nice chunks of saltfish when you're biting into your meal. So that's ready. And of course, the seasoning for the ackee and saltfish is here, right? So I am preparing the ackee and saltfish for everybody else in the family. Over here, if you notice, there is more of this pepper. It's bad, like legit. My eyes are running water right now because of how strong this pepper is. Smell it. Oh, I forget, you can't smell it. It's YouTube. They still need to get that smell icon so you guys can get what I'm saying. So this is my little seasoning for my saltfish because I'm going to be preparing mine separately. All right, so I'm going to take you through the steps now. So the first step is to add our tomato to the oil. And in sauteing the seasoning, we want to ensure that the oil is on low. So always going with the tomato first so that it can give us a little bit of color and of course release the lycopenes that are in it. Next we're adding our onions. And we're going to add some garlic. Alright, so we're going in now with some minced garlic. You could use the whole clove, cut them small if you will. But I had some minced garlic, so I'm just using that. So you want this to sweat until the onions become translucent. Scotch bonnet pepper and some cloves, maybe 4 or 5 pieces, and some pimento. You can choose to add the pimento berries whole, or you could actually crack them. Going in now with some fresh thyme. And some scallion. Now that our seasonings are fully sauteed, we're going to add our saltfish pieces. And allow this to cook. Alright, so here we have it. Our saltfish is fully, we call this cook up saltfish, right? So it's fully sauteed. Here, if you look, you will see a little bit of oil bubbling. That's how it is. You want to have a little bit of juice or a little bit of gravy, not too much. Now, if this looks like too much when you're looking at it, remember we're adding the ackee to it. So it's going to soak up a little bit of that oil. And also, we have to be careful when adding oil to this dish. Why? Because ackee in itself has its own fat concentrate, right? So you don't want to add too much to that. So we're going to go in now with the ackee. Remember, the aim of the game here is definitely not to break up these pieces. Like I said, no plaka plaka ackee round here. All right, so we're gonna allow this to just, you know, heat through, and then we're going to incorporate it nicely with the saltfish. All right, so here we have it. We're just moving our ackee and saltfish around, incorporating it nicely, because again, remember what I said, no plaka ackee around here. So the trick to this is always to scoop from beneath and move it up. Do not just take a spoon, right, and stir it as though you think you're making syrup or any such thing. Make sure that you handle this with care, because again, you want persons to see whole ackee pieces, and you want persons to actually get sufficient ackee with sufficient saltfish. You ever see some ackee and saltfish and it just looks like it is nothing but pure ackee? We're not into the pure ackee vibe around here. Everything must be nicely incorporated. So now that the ackee and the saltfish is here, the next stage of the game is just to add a little bit of dry seasoning to kick things up a notch. And I am adding here some black pepper. Not too much, because remember I told you about the wicked scotchy that I have in there. So I added some black pepper. You can choose to add, I like Italian seasoning, right? So even though I can't eat the ackee and the saltfish, I'm just gonna put a little touch of Italian seasoning, nothing too much to change the flavor of the ackee and the saltfish, and the usual. So I'm going in now at bits of scallion. I'd save back some from the initial stages. There's something about scallion in a dish, not just the presentation, but the taste without it being fried through is just different, right? So I'm adding that, and I'm also going to be adding some sweet pepper. Now there's something that I'll do at the end, which is just simply to cover the pot. I'm not gonna mix this round again. I'm just gonna be like I said, covering the pot here. And when I cover the pot, I'm just going to allow the steam now to release the flavor from the sweet pepper and also from the scallion. And when I'm going to serve, that is when I will give it one final mix. So I'm just going to cover the pot now. Leave that there for about 2 minutes. So this is our complement to the ackee and saltfish for today, breadfruit. So it's now here in my frying pan and it's doing its thing. I cannot wait to eat this. I love yellow heart breadfruit, especially if it kind of turn and it have a more sweetish taste. Yeah man, nothing nice like that. So that's coming up. Like I said, here we have some more. These have been completed. Some persons actually like to eat their ackee and saltfish with ground provisions. That is acceptable. I've even seen persons eating ackee and saltfish with rice and peas. I don't know how they do that one, but I guess it works. So our breadfruit is finished and it's now time for us to fry the plantain. Now one of the key things is a pro tip. You will thank me for this. When you are frying plantain, you want to turn your stove all the way down to low. I don't know why people deep fry plantain. You just want it to cook nice and slow. So this will remain there until one side is brown, and then we'll flip it over, do the other side, and then take it out and allow it to drain.